Hi, my name's Zack, and what you're about to watch is the third season of Rotary Life. At the end of Season 2, we finished up the 13B swap on the RX-7, and Season 3 is all about expanding on that, improvements, and genuinely enjoying the car. So I hope you guys enjoy the third season of Rotary Life. Alright, what's up guys? It is March 3rd. It's actually a really nice morning. I only have a sweatshirt on and I'm not cold, so today is the day. We should be pulling the RX-7 out of storage after 4 very long months. I know I've started the car colder than this. It's about 35 degrees right now, but I've never started it after 4 months of sitting. So we got oil, we got the new ECU, the computer, wrenches, fire extinguisher, all the essential things, and hopefully by the end of this video the car will be running and home. So that's what we're doing today. Feels good to be making Rotary Life again. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys at Atkins Rotary for helping me out with the videos. I'll talk more about that in future videos, but yeah, let's go get an RX-7. It's been too long. Alright guys, so there you have it. The car is home, as you guys saw. It actually went off without any huge hitch. It took about 40 minutes to start. That ended up being because I fogged the engine. I used fogging oil. I used way too much. And so basically the engine was flooded. So we cranked it forever and ever and ever, finally defouled the plugs and everything, and got it going as you saw. Made the trip home. Totally fine, totally normal. It was so fun to rip it on the back roads. But then I went out to go take it for a wash, and this happened.
First day back, right, Zack? First day out of storage?
Yeah. So, like, I drove it an hour home and it was fine. And then, but when I got home, the fans wouldn't turn off.
You drove it all the way back from that middle of nowhere place, like, to here today?
Dude,
oh, okay.
I drove it an hour.
And the fans wouldn't turn off?
And the fans wouldn't turn off when we got back. So then,
okay.
Literally what we did is we just, like, jiggled these wires, and they turned off.
That's such a lovely way to go about that. Just jiggle wires. You didn't unplug anything. You didn't you just jiggled it. It's fine.
No, I think it's that intake, which normally sits lower, like rubbed into something. And
well, I was curious about that too. That does not look proper.
Well, it's not in its normal spot right now.
Oh yeah, I figured it was kind of angled, but so like it sits in here more.
Yeah.
I'm not a rotary person, sorry guys.
So then I was driving through downtown and I smelled a little bit of coolant, pulled out the laptop, and it's sitting at 200 degrees.
At least you stopped it sooner than later.
Yeah. Which, like, when it gets way too hot, the ECU, like, limits me, and it wasn't limiting me. So I didn't cook anything.
Yeah, you're safe.
But so what it ended up being is I popped a fuse for my fans. I guess it somehow shorted, blew the fuse. So then thank you Felix and CJ for driving me to the local Ace up the road. Got some new fuses, got it back in, and it's all been running normal since. I ran it pretty hard last night. I met up with some friends at the parking garage, one of which was a 700 horsepower Camaro that I will be reviewing a little bit here, so you'll see that later on the channel. And then my friend Amar was downtown, and I did a little bit of two-step. Just like old times. So the rest of this video is going to be doing an oil change on the RX-7, and then hopefully, if my appointment is correct, we will be getting the car dynoed on Monday, which is tomorrow. So that'll be good. So that will be all one video. I think I'm gonna swap out for longer videos, but less videos, less Rotary Lives, I mean, for longer episodes. That's what you guys have kind of wanted. So yeah, so expect less Rotary Life, but longer, more full videos. No more like 4-minute, you know, I changed my oil. No, I'm gonna throw it into a big video. But coming up, I did purchase an S5 intake for the car, so you'll see how to modify that to get that to work on an S4 engine. Definitely gonna get tires here soon. I know in April I'll be headed up to Michigan for the Ferris State Car Show, the 22nd of April. So I'll be in Michigan then with the RX-7, hopefully, as if all goes well. And then gonna be doing a little stuff here and there. So yeah, stay tuned on the channel, and let's go up and do the oil change.
Everything about you.
No, 145. Wait, 145 the crank or the wheels?
Crank.
At the crank. So I'm guessing 110 of the wheels. What do you think?
I'm gonna say 123 horsepower.
What
about Steve?
What does Steve believe? Steve's never ridden it.
116 horse.
Well, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
My guess is 127 horsepower. I'm biased because it's my car, and I'm really hoping for the best.
I mean, we'll see. We shall see.
guys, so there you guys have it, the first episode of Season 3 of Rotary Life. I got the dyno results. I have the sheet here. The car put out 123 horsepower. So, got a lot of work to do. Definitely needs a tune, definitely needs tires, intake, flywheel, exhaust. That's what we should be doing this year. I don't know really what the plan is, but whatever I do, I'll end
Now, you see this right here? You see, this is why we can't have nice things. Oh, here, let me help you out. Let me just add some of my own.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today we have a couple of different objectives for this video. Really two main ones. Get new front tires, because the ones that are currently on the car I actually purchased on the car back in 2015. I believe they're either 2014 or 2013 tires. Alright, so just out of my curiosity, I went ahead and checked the tires, and they were manufactured in 2008. 2008. That means a decade ago. You know, when the iPhone looked like this and George Bush was still in office in America.
Yeah, so as you can see here, these are completely smooth on the outside. I used to have a busted tie rod, that's why they're worn differently, but we have the new tie rods, it's just we never replaced these.
Yeah, not good. So we're gonna get new tires, not quite sure what yet. The current plan is to go up to Wisconsin with Mike to get them, but I'm sure you'll see whatever route we figure out. And then the second one is to actually finally mount the ECU. The ECU's just been sitting under the carpet for the last couple of weeks. Well, actually, since we got the car running, it's never been bolted down. So we definitely have to do that.
Yeah, so this is also the current ECU setup, so, you know, real sturdy here, huh?
But yeah, just been enjoying the car. Put about 250 miles on it since the last video. Actually went to the parking garage, met up with a bunch of people last night, which was really fun. Drove it to Red Mist, drove it. Yeah, I've just been putting a lot of miles on it. No real issues, except for last night, this happened.
Yeah, so the driver's side window no longer likes to go up. You kind of have to help it out. And even at that, it doesn't like being helped either. So I don't know if it's the window regulator inside the door, or if it's jammed, or if it came off the rail or whatnot, but it goes down, but not back up. It goes down slowly, but it does go down. It's still a little crack, actually. Not quite sure what that is, but it's 80s electronics. I'm sure they've never been swapped out, the window regulators, so we might have to do that in an upcoming episode.
So I'm not sure if we'll figure that out in this video or not, but let's get to it. So it is Thursday night. Tonight we are going to try to work on the window situation, since we're not going to get tires till Saturday. Still going to be this video, but we're going to figure out the tire situation on Saturday, so I figured might as well try this. I posted on a couple groups, some guys gave me some ideas. They said one, clean the connections on the actual switches themselves, sometimes those get bad. Then second would be to pull the door card off, which I'm thinking we're going to have to do. Grease up the track and stuff, and re-grease it and clean all the gunk out of it. Basically the old grease in there probably attracted a lot of crap and gunk. So those could be jammed up and make sure the window's on track. If not, we might need a new actuator or window motor, but we're going to try the connections first. Also, look at this sweet light I got. I told you guys I'm upping the production value of Rotary Life Season 3. It's for you guys. Alright, so we're going to have to do what I didn't really want to do, and we're going to take this door card off. We're just going to try to lubricate the insides. Hopefully it's just the old grease got all gunked up. Hopefully it doesn't need a window motor, but you never know.
the window goes back up on its own, as you saw. It's not the fastest thing in the world. It still gets a little stuck down towards the bottom, but for now, it's a fix. The door card's super easy to take off. If you're doing the door card on your own, here's a picture of where all the bolts are. But yeah, super easy. So now we're gonna grease up the hinges of the doors. If you didn't hear, they're super loud. And then we'll probably cut to Saturday. Does this ever happen to you? Hi, infomercial Zack here, and boy do I have a product for you. It's called white lithium grease. You just lather that baby right on that hinge, but boom! There, you're done. You're done. You don't have to worry about it. And there it is. You can pick it up in any local store. You can put it on your dog, you can put it on your little brother, it'll shut him right up. I don't know, I don't care what you do with it. Put it on your first gen doors. Alright, so it's Saturday. We are going up to Red Mist Automotive to pick up hopefully some wheels and tires. The deal fell through in Wisconsin, so we're not going to Wisconsin. They were going to be RS4s for $50, which would have been awesome, but unfortunately it fell through. That's just how things go. But we'll head up to Red Mist and I'll further explain kind of the wheel situation. Oh, looks like Steen's here, Adam's here, Matt's here, the whole crew. Oh, wow, would you look at that? Wow. All right, so I'm at Red Mist. Mike actually has some wheels for an RX-7 for an FB 4x110 bolt pattern, so we have to dig them out. They're kind of stowed away, but I'm gonna run 2 of his wheels on my front just so it's a little bit less sketchy for a little while, and then we're gonna order some tires. All right, guys, so this is the wheels. These are the wheels that Mike is going to let us borrow. Hey, Mike! What? Thanks for letting me borrow your wheels.
Welcome.
Oh, he's gonna have to get a hammer.
Where's the dead blow that Steen stole?
I don't know, Steen. I borrowed it.
You gotta go up.
As he's about to sack back down.
Here, and then hit right here. Ooh.
Just hit there, Mike!
I'm sorry. I don't hurt.
That's sideways.
It's here. I mean, I'll get this side for you.
It's raining sideways.
Oh,
there's still water, yeah. There's still a lot of water.
Oh, wait, I see its reflection.
So you're gonna put that. Oh.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Steen.
That is done dickered, bud.
Oh. Oh no.
Hot,
Dude, those water jackets though.
Steen, I'm so sorry.
Dude, oh my god.
I'm so sorry.
It's a big clog there, bud. Oh, these O-rings are still good though.
Hey, those are reusable.
Yeah. Moldy rotor.
Oh
my
no.
god, there's a mold on the rotor.
Are you like? Are you having a moment over here?
I am. Look at this. I'm so sorry,
Let me see
Steen.
if I can get in there. Where's the zoom?
Rotary engines are raviolis. Changed my mind.
There it is.
Yep.
Hit it like you mean it.
Not just twist and lift.
Here, hammer.
Oh.
Oh, it's fucking jello. Ripperoni.
Alright, so there you guys have it. The new wheels are on the front of the car. These are temporary. I want this to be very clear that these are temporary. These are still Mike's wheels, but I took a look at the tires and the driver's side tire had cords showing. These don't have amazing tread, but they don't have cords showing, which is way better than having cords showing. So I did order the tires. They're Toyo Proxies. I think they're 45... They're 195, 45, R15, I believe. But next video, we'll start off with getting those mounted because those won't be here till Tuesday. But yeah, I think it looks absolutely sick. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know we didn't mount the ECU this video, but hopefully next video, got kind of caught up in it and I want to get this video out. So
Hope you guys.
Hey guys, remember last episode when we fixed the windows? Well, went to a car meet tonight, which I was gonna vlog, but ended up not doing because I was kind of irritated that now my window won't go up. So it is 10 o'clock. I have to be up at 6 tomorrow for school, and I'm just trying to close my window so I don't get my car broken into. And now I'm starting to chip away at this vintage interior to try to get to the... The good thing is that I've become like a NASCAR pit crew on taking this door card off. I guess that's a positive. I'm gonna try to maybe WD-40 this bad boy up. Maybe I put too much grease in and it's seized. I don't know. So I put the car in the garage for tonight. I think it's something with the wiring because there's dash lights obviously when the car comes on, but it's not fully on. And they dim whenever I hit the roll down button, but they don't dim when I hit the roll up button. And on the passenger side, when I hit the roll down and roll up, which that window works fine, it dims every time I hit that button. So it's pulling power whenever I hit the buttons for that. It's not pulling power whenever I hit the roll up button. And also I opened up the door card, or I took the door card off as you saw, and I like tried pushing the window up and hitting the button, and it wasn't even moving like it was getting slow, or it wasn't even moving like it just isn't getting power. So I think there's a way to clean the wires, clean the connections actually in the door. So I'm gonna try that next. Hey guys, remember me from a second ago? It's up. Yeah, the window's up now. So basically what I did, because I didn't think it would work, is I took the switch out of the housing. So it's in the switch. So we're gonna have to figure out what to do with that. But it's in the garage now, at least. I'll keep it in the garage for the night. 80s electronics. Alright guys, so right now we are going to head over to Red Mist Automotive to actually pick up my tires. And I want to apologize for filming this with a GoPro. It's all that I had on me and I didn't think I was picking up my tires today. But hopefully my friend said that he can mount them tomorrow. So I'm picking them up early tonight. But yeah, so we're headed to Red Mist, and instead of just doing a time lapse on flat Midwestern roads, here's a time lapse of me washing the RX-7 instead. Alright, so I am going to try to make Matt and Mike really mad. Basically, in the first episode when I dynoed the car, the dyno place is right by Red Mist shop. It totally slipped my mind. I didn't invite them to the dyno, and they're a little salty about it. I'm sorry, Matt and Mike. I love you guys. You guys are some of my best friends. But they're a little mad about that, so let's get them. You guys could have been in all 3 episodes of Rotary Life, but you guys didn't come to the dyno. What's that about?
Why didn't we come to the dyno?
Yeah, what's that about?
To quote Steen the other day, "Oh, I'll fight you there, bud."
Steen, I'm stealing your content.
Oh, I'll fucking fight you there, bud.
I don't know, somebody was 6 miles away but couldn't pick up their phone. That's what I heard.
Wow. They're a lot smaller than I thought.
Yeah? That's what happens when you have the old school cars. They run tiny little tires.
Alright guys, back with the good camera. Right now we're going to take the rear wheels off since the front wheels are already off. Load them up, and then my friend Caden, my text tone is my car revving. My friend Caden is actually going to fit the tires for us because at his work they actually have a tire machine. So I'm going to go drop them off at his house after we take them off, and we'll have some new tires on them by the morning.
Tell me what to do. Show me how to feel. Under your control. Everything is real. So hit me.
Alright guys, so these are the tires that I decided to go with. They are Toyo Proxies. They are 195 45 R15s. Tread wears 280. Not really sure what else you want to know about the tires, but here they are. So we'll mount them up and we'll actually have good tires on the car.
Session with you, never any tension. Nothing but love and affection. Enough of my case, so let's cut to the chase. Listen up, cause these are the directions. Obey what I say, don't complain, I don't wanna hear questions. Follow my lead, time to fall to your knees. It's an order, it's not a suggestion. I'm about to teach you a lesson.
Now I know a lot of people actually like these rims better than the Steelies, but these, like I said, are Mike's. They are Autobahns. I believe they're made by WED, W-E-D. But they're not mine. They're really vintage, really rare. So I'm going to keep the Steelies. I'm going to replace these with the Steelies. The Steelies kind of fit the look that I'm going for. So unfortunately, these have to go. Alright guys, so the tires are on. Actually, it makes a huge difference just looking at it. The car just looks a lot beefier with actually good tires, which is the look I'm going for. Like I said, I want to do fender flares and all that jazz. But unfortunately, then we have to say goodbye to the Autobahns. They look cool for the time that they were on, but unfortunately, we have to say goodbye. Alright, so we're going to test out the tires. Oh yeah, you could feel they're way grippier. There used to be a vibration in the steering wheel, and if you guys remember really old school Rotary Life, there was a whole episode, steering vibration. Well, that vibration's finally gone after almost 2 years. Alright, so there you guys have it. That is this episode of Rotary Life. I know we literally accomplished what the last video tried to accomplish, thus the part 2 in the title. But the tires make a world of difference. Again, they're Toyo Proxies. They're 45 195 R15s. I'll leave a link down in the description below to then pick them up. Coming up next, the car's running a little rough. It's idling all weird. It seems like a fuel issue or a vacuum leak. So next episode we'll probably be tackling that. Car runs fine driving. It's just at idle it sometimes drops and then picks back up and stuff like that. So we're going to have to tackle that next. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. I apologize for the lack of posting on the channel this week. It's been a really busy week. And hopefully on Sunday I'm doing a pretty cool car review. So that'll be out next week. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys. In the arms of an angel, fly away, it seems, as a What's up, guys? Back again with another episode with the RX-7. Wow, it is bright out here. As you can probably guess, we are at Red Mist Automotive to work on the idling issue, which we've worked out to be a wiring problem. So Adam is going to work his magic on the wiring harness. Hopefully we'll get that straightened out. I drove it here to Red Mist, which is an hour away from my house, and it did totally fine. So it's just a wiring issue. I'm sure Adam will solve that, and then I think we're going to try to mount up the ECU as well. But we worked on it a little bit this morning, got it to run decent, so now we're here, and
Let's get going. Steen, what are you doing?
I don't honestly know.
He's trying to clean the rotors.
He's making rotors great again.
You're gonna need 2 of those.
That's why he bought it.
Oh heck yeah, bud.
This guy is real heckin' smart.
He's real heckin' smart.
Dad bought it for me. Thanks, Dad. You can also put other parts in there and displace a bit more.
Let me put my phone in there.
We're better off as strangers. Believe me when I say, loving me is loving danger. Your heart is bound to break. I walk alone in the night, neath the pale moon. Loving's for the fools. Baby, beware of my body. I'm alone, I'm alone, I'm a lone wolf. 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 I'm a lone wolf.
Well, we've made a startling discovery. That's my motor mount. It's not mounting the motor currently. We are trying to film! I need Steen with me all the time. Alright guys, so this is my motor mount, which fell out. This top part was just sitting on the bottom, like, radiator tray, and so this is the motor mount. We're gonna replace it with Mike's solid motor mounts from his car. I don't know how this happened, but basically that's why the fans were shutting off, is because the engine was shaking so much. It wore through the wiring of the fans, and then that's why the car was freaking out, because the harness was like twisting and contorting, and like it was advancing and retarding timing on its own. So this has been the source of our whole problem, is my broken engine mount. So hopefully we're gonna fix those tonight, and it should fix everything. Hey Mike, what are we doing?
We're going to my house to get you engine mounts.
My engine mounts are kind of porked.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna get some ones that I made in high school.
Oh, great. Really trustworthy.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up? I have one of these. Oh.
Get your car here so quick.
Oh.
This one. We tore this apart to like salvage stuff off of it for my race car. Hey, here's the mounts right here. And then never put it back together, and that was like 3 years ago. So there's some aluminum engine mounts that I made in high school.
Alright, we got bolts, we got engine mounts. Let's do this. We're actually going to put the car up on a lift, which I've never seen the car on a lift before. A little nervous about that. You guys can all laugh at my trans mount.
I've already seen it.
Oh, Adam's seen it. Steen, it's bad.
Pretty rough.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to hopefully fix it, and I'm hopefully going to drive this thing home tonight. And Mike also wants to rip the exhaust off for some weird reason. He wants to put a header on, like tonight.
Why not?
Why not? Because it's already 6 p.m.
You have no faith.
I got to be in bed by 8.
Oh.
Alright, let's put at least one engine mount in so we can back the car up, and then get the supercharged Civic off the lift, and then, Steen, what are you doing to your rotors over here? Whoa, that actually looks so sick on camera. Come here. Look at that.
Oh my god.
He's putting the rotor in ATF, so it'll soak for like 2 weeks and clean up. That's his Miata. It's my favorite blue Miata build on YouTube. So basically, the intake has rubbed through some of the wires right there. That's what was causing the fans to turn off, we think. So that's what we were thinking caused a lot of the electrical issues. So I don't know how we're going to fix that, Adam.
I'll probably just replace the wiring. Or at least patch in new pieces.
So Zach's gone right now, and we're gonna fix this for him because his trans is gonna fall out of the car. You see this? This is the mount. It's some real hood rat stuff that was done here by somebody that must have really not liked him
previous owner.
Yeah, so the previous owner just really didn't like them. But yeah, we're gonna fix this mount, albeit temporarily, until he puts his new transmission in, and then after that, we'll fix it permanently. But this, we can't have the transmission falling out of the car because then we don't get to watch any cool reviews anymore. So here we go. Also, I don't really know how to use this camera, so I apologize if I'm not nearly as good as Zach at doing this, because I don't really know what I'm doing with the camera. But I'm gonna hang it over here and we're gonna figure out how to make it work. Oh, these bolts are bent?
Oh my god.
Look at it. You nailed it there, bud. Making a lot of real cool sounds. Zach, I hope you can flip this footage over because I didn't know how to put Steen's camera right side up. I mean, honestly, if he can't, then he doesn't deserve to be a YouTuber. Oh! So, what we're gonna do, is because we don't know exactly if your new trans that's going in is gonna sit the same.
Right.
I'm gonna basically take a plate and weld across the front edge here and weld it up to your trans mount here, because then it can't fall forward, which is the issue that it's having. And then that'll make sure that you don't have like saggy trans syndrome anymore.
Yeah, as long as we can get it to like be held up until we can throw the new trans in.
Right.
That's
It'll be good enough to like even track it the way we're gonna do it.
Yeah. You
So,
want me to track it with this?
Yeah, you could. Also, your trans mount bolts bent because they were loose.
Sick. This has been a sick day, I tell you what. Before Mike can weld, we have to disconnect the negative. And Steen, did you just tear your pants?
Hopefully not.
I thought I just heard something. Is that window down? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Just, it's behind the seat. There should be a lever that you could like roll the seat forward or like tilt it forward.
Ooh.
How does it feel to get rained on by liquid metal?
It feels delightful.
You lit your car on fire.
I really did though. Yeah, there it is.
All done.
Wow. 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 Yep. All right, so these solid mounts are in. Thank you, Mike. I'm trying to focus on you. I can't really see you, but
Focus!
Thank you for these solid mounts and doing the welding and and the transmission bracket. It's still ugly, but at least it won't fall down. Mike, what'd you do here?
I just welded a plate that joined the part that broke out with the part it broke out from. And we just put this in temporarily so then that way once the new trans goes in, we can build a real, like an actual tubular mount that doesn't suck. So this will just be to make sure that everything is good until then.
Sick. Alright, so there you guys have it. What we ended up doing is what you saw in the beginning. We did a mass airflow sensor delete. So the mass airflow sensor isn't needed for the standalone ECU, so we took that out. We also obviously did the engine mounts, we did the transmission mount, and then Adam messed with the wiring. Thank you so much to Mike from Red Mist Automotive. His YouTube channel is Red Mist Auto here on YouTube. Go check him out. Lifesaver yesterday. Absolutely awesome. So thank you for letting me use your engine mounts.
your solid mounts, which actually makes the car feel so much better. There's a lot more pedal feel. When you really hit the throttle, you really feel it, and it doesn't vibrate that much at idle, or that much more than with the stock mounts. So I really like that. Thank you, Mike, for welding up the transmission mount so I don't die. And thank you so much, Adam, for doing the wiring and just being there. And thank you, Steen, for helping out, driving me to the store to get brake clean while Mike worked on the transmission and all that stuff. So alright, what's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today we have a couple different things that we want to accomplish with the RX-7. First and foremost being that we're going to go get it tuned by Mike out at Red Mist Automotive. Now, Mike has a YouTube channel that I'll link down below, Red Mist Auto. And so we're going to do some back roading and get the car all tuned up. So that's what we're actually going to do now. So we're going to go over and head over to Red Mist Automotive and get Rose tuned. Alright, so Mike is going to help me tune the car. It's running a little lean up top. Mike and Matt are just getting the car set up for to set up the AFR gauge. So they're wiring that up. I did put flares on the car momentarily to kind of see how it'll look like in the future. Kind of hyped about that. But yeah, we're going to get out there and tune for a little bit. At least that's the plan. Hopefully nothing bad happens. Oh, hey. I'm just filming.
Oh, yeah?
Oops.
See my fingers?
Yes. Yeah, I'm feeding it through right now.
So here's what I'm doing, just so you're aware.
Yeah.
See over here, there's the fuel load.
Yeah.
Okay. When you're wide open throttle in an NA car, depending on VE, you're going to be like between 100 and 110 kPa. 110 is if you have like literally such an efficient car that the harmonics and the resonance in the intake manifold and all that stuff will create positive pressure and actually pressurize your intake tract, which is not very often that ever happens. So like basically by having the resolution that you have, like by having these numbers be way over 100,
Yeah.
you're basically just making your map smaller for no reason. So what I'm doing is I'm basically moving this 125 column up to the top here, and then I'm making everything else below it usable. So then that way,
get more exact.
right?
Okay.
And that's kind of the same thing here. Is like this.
Is that RPM?
Yeah, this is RPM. So this goes up to 9,000, but it's like it's got a whole bunch of resolution. Like 4 grand is all the way over here.
Right.
Well, like on the street, this is great, but as soon as you get to the highway, like you're already past the 50% mark of your map. So like beating on it with the resolution the way it is, you're only using from here to like realistically there of your whole map. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it so that when I'm done with this, you're going to use from like here-ish to like there.
Okay.
So that way this whole thing is much more precise.
Okay.
So that's basically what I'm doing right now.
Do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to. Doing it because I want to, not because you told me to. So we have this table called Target AFR, and then we have another table called VE. VE is volumetric efficiency.
Brake traction.
Yeah. So AFR is basically like what air fuel ratio the car is trying to hit.
Right.
VE is how efficient it's being.
Oh, okay.
So if I get the VE number right, it should nail it on our target.
Don't you say a word, cause I've heard it all. You were just pain when you felt it all. Oh. Something tells me that I won't miss it. It's the first time that we can't fix it. It's irreversible damage done.
Ooh. My name is Zack and I like to downshift my car because it's cool. Sounds so good.
See, you make fun of me, but you're jealous.
I'm not actually making fun of you, and I am totally jealous. I'm totally jealous.
So the tuning actually went really well. The car drives amazing. It drives like brand new. With the new tires from last episode, or maybe that was 2 episodes ago, the solid engine mounts from last episode, the tune, it feels really solid now. And for the first time ever, I was driving it home after getting it tuned. I actually felt really confident about the car. It felt wholesome. I don't even know how to really put it, but it felt really good. So I'm really happy with it. So thank you so much, Mike, for doing that tuning. Alright, it's 11:30 on a Thursday night, and I'm going to now drive back to Red Mist in the G6 to bring Mike my trans. Now, I'll kind of talk about it at the shop, but I'm going to bring him the S5 trans that I got because we're going to kind of see if we can modify it to fit into my RX-7, my FB. And I'm doing it at 11:30 because I just felt like night driving and might as well be productive, right? Alright, let's go.
You're so strong.
So the trans is at Red Mist. What do we have to do in order to make it fit?
So we have to take this tail section off because the shifter for the FC is like way too far back. So we're gonna take this off, and then we're gonna put one on there that's from a 12A. And then when we do that, it'll basically move the shifter from here to somewhere in this area. That way it'll go through the hole in the right place on the FB trans tunnel.
Hey! What's up, Steen?
Oh my god. That was so embarrassing.
8 reasons why the FB is better than the NA Miata. Number 1, solid rear axle. Number 2, rotary engine. Number 3, aesthetics. Number 4, aesthetics again. Number 5, I mentioned that solid rear axle. Number 6, my dad had one. Number 7, my mom didn't have one. Number 8, swag.
Yeah, totally do that again. Take 2. Action.
Parkour!
This camera is so sick, Scene. Oh man. It doesn't get any better than this, guys.
Parkour!
He is the pinnacle of automotive as well as physical prowess.
Dude, it's 1 in the morning. It's 1:38. I'm dropping SD cards. Over here, we got a supercharged Civic. Back here, I have to make sure I don't impale myself. We got a Miata boat.
Emphasis on the yacht. Are you dead?
That was legitimately not on purpose.
Are you alright? I think we broke his spirit. As well as his pride.
As well as my back.
How's your pride feel though?
Bruised but not broken.
This worked terribly, so let me do it again. Close up, perfect.
Hey.
Hey.
What you doing?
I was gonna start the video. Alright, what's up guys? Today we're doing a lot of work on the RX-7, obviously. Water pump coolant temp sensor, that's what we're doing right now. Then we're gonna do exhaust, maybe transmission, a new belt, basically a lot of preventative stuff. We're probably not gonna be making a whole ton of power. We're gonna add some power with the exhaust, but this video is mainly gonna be preventative maintenance. Which is good, so we can keep the RX-7 running for longer. So we're going to start off with the coolant temp sensor, which requires pulling the water pump off. Alright, so upon further inspection while editing the video, I realized that I didn't really explain the coolant sensor properly. So basically we upgraded to a GM coolant sensor that will basically communicate with the Mega Squirt way better. The stock coolant sensor worked, but it wasn't super accurate. So now the GM sensor will actually talk to the Mega Squirt, tell it the exact temperature, and we can base a lot of the tune off of that more properly. As well as I will leave that coolant sensor or a link to it down in the description below if you'd like to do that modification. And we used a 9/16 drill bit. What you working on, bud?
I'm rewiring something, wires that melted, bud.
It's a boosted Mazda 3.
Not a speed 3.
Not a speed 3. Alright, so as you guys can see, the RX-7's back up on the lift. So our next task is to take the header off and replace it with a new higher flow header. Basically, RX-7s come from the factory with something called a thermal reactor. It's to help the exhaust burn hotter, so then the emissions out the tailpipe are cleaner, so it like burns everything more thoroughly. Well, that means you have a hot air box sitting next to the engine, and heat, as we know, is not great. So we're going to be taking that off. Mike has an old 12A exhaust that we're actually going to modify to then fit onto the 13B. Don't let the clothes fool you. It's actually a different day. It's like 10:30 a.m. But I haven't showered, so I'm wearing a hat. So yeah, let's get cracking on the exhaust. Hopefully we'll finish that up today, and then trans and whatever else. Everything else. Windshield list. 20B. Alright, what's your forecast?
It's raining.
Alright, so this is the thermal reactor. This is what we pulled off. This was the header on the stock S4 RX-7. And it's garbage. Alright, so in case anyone wanted to know what the exhaust ports look like on an NA13B, here they are. So basically I'm just scraping the old gaskets off so the new gasket will seat properly. Speaking of which, this is the old gasket and this is the new one. Huge difference, obviously. You can see around the edges here I was having a lot of exhaust leaks. That'll affect not only the tune but efficiency of the car, everything. So this alone will basically add horsepower. We're going to take a little break from the RX-7 for a second, and we're going to hoon Steen's Miata that's missing a front end.
AC13 in the house though.
AC13, baby!
Subscribe!
Heck yeah. Alright, so Steen's going to take the boat Miata on the rally course. Let's go, baby!
Let's go, baby!
Any last words?
We actually went a little slower in your run.
Wow.
Because I was in second for that one. I was in first.
Wow.
The entire thing was sideways. Hell yeah.
You jammed a rock in between the wheel and the tire.
That's safe.
Yeah, safety first, kids. Jesus. So guys, that's the header install on the RX-7. It sounds a little bit different, a little bit higher pitched, a lot more rotary-like. And so the header, we're not sure what kind of header it is. We actually discovered that it used to be a 13B header that was shortened to a 12A header and is now spaced out to be a 13B header again. So that's all said and done, and I would do a flyby, I would do a two-step, but there's a little issue with the car. I noticed the rear suspension squeaking a little while back, and I thought it was a shock absorber going bad, whatever. And as Mike was tuning it, because that's the reason it's here at Red Mist, as Mike was tuning it, he went to go tighten up the shock for me, and he noticed that part of the car was kind of hanging off. Part of the suspension had actually rusted through, and I'll show the video that he sent, because that's the best video of it. So we're gonna try our best to patch weld that up. That'll be the next video. But I wanted to get this video out because that video probably won't be out for a while. So we still have to do the trans, but in this video we got the coolant sensor done, the belt, and the header on, which has been awesome. Alright, so I don't want to end the video on such a sad note. I know it's not the best news to hear about the RX-7, but I promise you guys this series will continue. Whether we fix that RX-7, we're going to do everything in our power to fix Rose. If not, we'll pull the engine and transmission out. We'll pull the wheels off. We'll pull everything we put into that car out. We'll get a new shell, and we'll start from scratch. There, we'll put the 13B into that and all that stuff. This stuff will go on. The reason I'm filming all that and telling you guys, and I didn't just patch up the suspension on my own, is that this is Rotary Life. This is what happens in life. Stuff comes, stuff goes, stuff breaks. Sometimes it's not that great. Sometimes owning an RX-7 sucks. Sometimes owning an RX-7 is great. But you have to remember the great memories that I have with the car, the great times I've had with the car, have severely outweighed the negative times. This is just one of those negative times. Now, to end off this video, if you read the title, I don't know if I put it in the title, I haven't titled it yet, but my friend Flav, who actually used to own the Rose, he used to own Rose back in 2008, I interviewed him for a documentary, and after we were done, he had a bunch of first-gen parts laying around. So I'm going to get them out of the car here because I've been taking up my back seat, and I'm going to show you some of the cool things that I got. First up, this is the bottom wind deflector for the FB, kind of sits like this. Really hard. I've been struggling to find these mint, and this one is crack-free, could just use a little bit of washing. That's really cool. This is a box of a ton of goodies, including the shifter bezel thing, a rear view mirror, a headlight, some different seat belts, the little coin pocket thing that goes up by the shifter, and there's a headlight motor in there, glove box door, little vent by the driver's door. This is the rear fabric that goes inside the hatch, a leather carrying case or cover for the glass sunroof that I don't yet have, but hopefully will soon obtain. Yeah, radiator cover, as you guys might remember, mine's pretty rusty. This one has a little bit of rust, but not nearly the amount that mine had. So we're going to clean this up and probably throw this on the car as well. An extra rear bin, a whole rear interior corner piece, a blower motor for behind the dash, gauge shroud for the gauges. Now, we were both puzzled. We don't know what this is. It has the red from the RX-7 interior, but it looks like you fill it up with something. We have no idea what this is. If you know what this is, please leave a comment. Both headlight shrouds, as well as the headlight switch, hazard button, defroster, and rear wiper buttons that go on either side of the gauges. And last but not least, a driver's side window and an OEM spare tire. So that's where I'm going to leave this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I love the new exhaust. The car is running great. But as you guys saw, we do have that suspension issue. So the next video will be about the suspension. We're not going to let that go on any further. And while it is unfortunate news, worst case scenario, the worst possible scenario is that we have to wait a couple months, maybe even up to a year, to find a new shell and put the current 13B, exhaust, transmission, the Diamond Racing Steelies, tires, everything, a Mega Squirt ECU, everything from Rose into a new shell. That's the worst case scenario, but I promise you guys, we are going to try our absolute hardest to save Rose. Mike thinks we can, but of course I have my doubts, as I always do. Thanks again to Mike for welding up the exhaust and noticing the actual cause of the squeaking noise, which was the suspension failure. Thank you, Matt, for letting me use your tools. And thank you to Atkins Rotary for helping me with the pulley, that new pulley that we put on there. I know that seems like such a minuscule part of the video, but the coolant seals, or the water pump housing seals, the new belt for the car, and all that stuff came from Atkins. And thank you guys so much for supporting the show. It really means a lot. Alright, good morning everyone, or you might be watching this in the afternoon or night, but it's the morning right now. It's 9:15 in the morning. I'm just waiting on Mike and or Matt to get to the shop. That's where I am, with a NC Miata. There's Steen's FD down there and all that stuff. So basically today we're gonna start on the suspension rebuild on Rose. As you guys might have saw, the suspension is kind of busted. It rusted through and is squeaking really bad and is really just unsafe to drive. So today I know we're at least going to be starting the rebuild. I don't know if we'll finish it. I don't know if I'll break it up into 2 videos. If this says part 1 at the top, that means we didn't finish it. But yeah, we should just be cutting and welding, cutting and welding, cutting and welding, making new mounts and stuff. So once Matt and or Mike gets here to open up the shop, we'll get started. The RX-7 hasn't been started in a long time, so it's going to need a jump. I just tried to go start it and it won't go. So we're going to need to jump that, but yeah, let's get to it. Alright, so this is on the passenger side of the car. I don't really need a light. As you can see, this is what's been causing our squeaking, making the whole rear axle move. So this is the area that we obviously need to fix. The driver's side isn't as bad, but it also needs addressing as well. Alright, while we let the PB Blaster do its work on the rusty nuts and bolts on the suspension, we're going to put in the radiator panel. Now, our good friend Andrew Steen sandblasted it, and so then we painted it with some stuff. And yeah, we're going to put the radiator panel in and then finish up the suspension. Now you see, that just looks so much better. I did use bed liner, but oh god, that looks so good. Alright, so now that most of the rear suspension is removed, we can kind of get a better idea of the problem. But there's one last thing we have to do, and that is peel all of the old weather coating off so we can get to the bare metal and see how much metal we have to work with. That's really going to decide if we keep this shell or not. So far it's looking good. I didn't break any bolts getting the suspension off, which is awesome. They were rusty, but a little bit of PB Blaster did them good. So now we're just going to take that weather coating off. so I have been grinding away at the chassis of the FB to get it ready to weld. Two discoveries. First of all, this isn't the first time this has happened to this car. We found spots where it was tack welded, and not like factory tack welded, like someone tack welded the suspension before exactly where we're gonna weld it, but we're gonna do it a lot more proper. As you can see, that's not factory. Those aren't factory tack welds. Second of all, the car has KBY struts on it. I believe they're G2s that are awesome. They're like really hard to compress by hand, which means that they're in good shape, and when I detached them, they like completely went down, which means that they are actually really in good condition. So that's a plus, is that we probably won't need shocks for the rear at least when we finally do the suspension. But yeah, I'm just gonna continue to grind away, get it ready to weld. Hopefully we'll tack weld it up for tonight, throw the wheels back on, roll it out because they need the shop, and then we'll come back another time and finish it up. This is after about 2 hours of work. Doesn't look like much, but should be good enough to weld. Alright guys, so the suspension is welded. I don't even know what time it is. I think it's around 9 o'clock, so we're at hour like 12 of the day. The suspension is welded back up. It's safe to drive again, which is awesome. It means we get to keep the shell. We're going to continue to build Rose as a car. But this will only be part 1, because part 2 we're going to build reinforcement plates so that doesn't happen again. And it'll just be a more solid car. So once I start tracking it, hopefully I'll start tracking it. We can totally trust it out on the track, and if I dirt drop or something, it's not gonna re-tear again. That being said, the welds are really solid. Thank you so much, Mike, for doing that. Thank you, Matt, for helping me realign everything at this dying time. So let's lower the car, and we'll give it its first proper drive in quite a while.
And then the 1813, like and subscribe. Coming down as well. On his warm-up patch. You can't see him because his car doesn't have headlights, because he's just that type of gentleman. I don't know if you could see that, but I did. AC-13!
Alright, so there you guys have it. That is the first part of the suspension fix. Like I said, the suspension is welded back together. It's put back together, but the next part we're actually going to reinforce it. So that's what I'm here doing today. As you notice, I've shaved and changed. It's actually a different day. I'm going to make templates for the plates, and then once we make them, if you guys need plates, like reinforcement plates, hit up Mike, and we can make some for your FB as well once we make them for my FB. So that's going to be the next part. Should be coming up soon, hopefully.
Whoa, shit, that's so cool.
And the best part is about windows, that like, I don't know if you noticed.
This is so cool.
You can tell that this one's lower than that one?
Well, like, no, not that.
Oh, hi.
Whoa.
Windows knows the scaling.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like right now you can see how Google Chrome looks. If you drag it over here, you see how small it looks, and then once it gets on my screen, it gets huge again.
Yep.
It scales down.
So cool.
New shop monitor, nice.
Phone has internet, it's just not sending it for whatever reason.
Just gonna send it.
We're just gonna play this game.
So now it's nighttime.
Ooh.
So now it's gonna speed up, and like now that when you get
Damn.
used to that, wait, what's
Anybody want to give it a rip?
787?
Yeah. Fucking crush it! Steen got me beat.
But now when you get used to the faster speed and you go back to the slower one, it's like
you jump too early?
Yeah, you jump too early because you're anticipating it.
Damn, Steen's crushing me. I gotta step my game up.
My high score
is like 2K.
Oh, look at him. Now he has no time to react to multiple things because you can only see one at a time. What's he gonna do, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh yeah, that color change fucks you
Oh,
up.
yeah,
fuck,
dude,
man.
it's not easy.
He's about to stomp.
Steen, my arms are getting tired filming you playing this.
This is so bad.
No!
2220.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Decent though.
Is
Decent.
it connected?
Right? I don't know.
All right, we got Mike up.
400.
My
No
guess-
pressure.
My guess
Oh
is
my God.
750.
750? Probably. So only at 400.
This is riveting content.
My right arm is getting tired.
You're not even using your right.
You are very astute.
Distraction.
Oh!
I died right before the distraction.
What do you get?
927.
927.
I was gonna record Zach playing, but he already
No.
he already lost.
That doesn't count.
He already lost
I mean,
at
at this point,
127.
you might as well just get a mulligan.
How does it feel?
What? It feels bad, but the suspension's fixed.
No, it's not.
Kind of.
You still gotta do the
Mostly.
plates.
I drove it around and it didn't break.
Yeah, Zach's like, I'm not sure if it's good, and I tell Zach, you should go take it up and down the street and see how it feels. Zach immediately proceeds to rip on the car, potentially ripping the diff out of the car.
Everyone's playing the soccer game.
Huh?
Soccer game. Mike, you playing the soccer game?
Playing basketball.
Oh, he's playing basketball. Where's Steen? Steen!
Yo. What up?
What are you playing?
Basketball.
Oh my god.
Yo, I've never said this before, but basketball is way better than soccer.
But just because I'm bad at the or at the soccer one.
This is how millennials play sports.
Steen has been challenged to break the styrofoam over his head. Why the scream? Why the yell?
This group is so dysfunctional.
Alright, so I have decided on a plate. It's literally a 6" by 6" piece of steel. And so I'll show you on the car where this is going to go. But basically we're going to weld this in so then it never cracks again and the suspension doesn't separate again. Because in order to separate again, it would have to go through this. And this is pretty thick. So as you can see, this is the repair and this is how this is going to go. Literally, it's just going to go over from this plate to the actual body of the car. Like I said again, so it doesn't split. But before I get to welding, I'm actually going to clean up the wheel wells a little bit, kind of get all the gunk and crap off the rest of it because we are going to bedline the entire wheel well once we're done. Hey Mike?
Yeah.
It didn't stick. Alright, so the new plan for the car is Felix and I are going to go pick up the car from the shop, bring it back home, give it a wash because it's been sitting outside for the last month and a half. So give it a good proper wash, and then tomorrow there's the Team Nostalgic meet in the city. So it's going to be a bunch of old Toyotas, Hondas, Rotaries. So we're going to bring the car to that, and that's how we'll end out the video. So let's go pick up the RX-7 and finally bring it home, at least for the time being. The car is on a bass tune right now, so I can't really beat the snot out of it. I can't two-step and shoot flames everywhere because it's on a really bass tune with the new header, because we are waiting on a wideband to come in so then we can properly tune the car, get it on a good solid final tune, and that'll be it.
Alright guys, so we're out here at Red Mist. Rose is running, we got it started. It's actually just warming up and stuff because we are going to take it home, but I think Mike is actually going to pick up. You're going to get the Miata? Apparently we're going to get a free Miata. It's missing some parts, but free Miatas for days. Well, my morning has been pretty horrible. Speedway was out of premium gas, so I had to go to a different gas station while I was already running late. I went to the car wash, and the gun that I had already paid for to start using had no pressure, and now the RX-7 is dead on the side of the highway, so I don't think I'm gonna make it to the nostalgic car meet. I think Adam's coming out this way to look at it. I think the fuel pump died. I think the cheap knockoff fuel pump that I shouldn't have gotten, I think it died. And so we're either gonna have to get a tow, or Adam might work some type of witchcraft magic, I don't know. But the car was running so good. And I was cruising in 5th gear, the temperatures were staying low, not a problem in the world. And then I was hitting the throttle and the RPM started dropping, I was flooring it, dropped it down into 4th, dropped it down into 3rd, nothing. And then I just coasted it to the side of the highway. So now I'm just sitting on the side of the highway waiting for Adam. If we can't fix it then, we'll get a tow truck, bring it home. I went to go move the car on the shoulder so I had more room to work on it without being in traffic. And so I turned the key and let the fuel pump prime, and it kind of builds up pressure. And so the car started for a second, but then it died out again. That's the current situation.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never.
My savior has arrived.
I don't think I'm gonna make it to the nostalgic car meet.
Just kidding! Alright guys, so that does it for this episode of Rotary Life. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Just to do a quick little recap. Patch welded and we put the plates over the rear suspension. The rear suspension is finished for now. Eventually I will do like lowering springs, but that's not going to be for a little while. I don't want to touch anything that has to do with suspension for quite some time. Then Mike picked up that free Miata. I apologize, we didn't have video footage of that. Had to use both hands. We actually put it on rolling dollies and pushed it down the street. And then of course the fuel pump went out. It actually ended up being the wiring to the fuel pump. There's a bad connector. I must have just hit a bump and it just went. So we were at the car show. Adam was actually under the car, which thank the Lord for Adam. Came to the rescue on the highway and also fixed it at the show. We actually had the car jacked up at the show, typical Rotary fashion.
and he actually got under there, pulled the wires, and we just straight connected the pump to the battery. We will end up putting a new connector in, but that'll be down the road. I got the car home. It ran almost flawlessly. It hit 100 degrees today, and I had no temperature issues. So that, besides the fuel pump, the car is running great, which is awesome. So thankful for that. I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to everyone that made it out to the show, the Nostalgic Car Club. It was a fun show as always, and really this just reiterates the Rotary community is a family. I showed up there. People are offering drinks, you know, everyone's coming up saying hello, there's hugs. There's nothing else to describe the Rotary community other than an extended family. What do you do as a family? You share meals, and after a long period of time, you come back together like there was no time in between, and literally both of those things happened at the meet. Thank you, Merv, for running out and getting Gene and Jude's, and Matt went with. Thank you, Matt, with the Turbo 2 RX-7. Thank you, Matt, with the FB, for lending some tools. I'm sorry I didn't get the name of the gentleman with the gold and black SA, but he let us borrow tools. Thank you so much, Adam. Literally, thank you, everyone there. Nick, thank you, Nick, with the RX-2 for always making the experience fun. Just thank everyone that was there, and thank you everyone when I posted that I was on the side of the highway. Thank you everyone that messaged me. It really meant a lot. I wasn't on my phone all day because by the time we got the car running, I was at like 20% battery. But when I got home, I had a ton of inbox messages, so thank you guys for that. And thank you... we just got a new puppy, and we have to crate train her since she doesn't really like her crate. But thank you to the people that came up and said hello, that said that they had seen the car online before. There are a couple people came up and said hello, which is absolutely awesome. It's super humbling to me that people have seen the car online, people like you watching this and actually come up and recognize it and, you know, talk about it. And actually, one of you viewers actually offered to buy the old wheels on the car, which I think is really cool, and hopefully, if you like them, you can have them. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today we are back again with another episode of Rotary Life. Today is not actually going to be any build video. I know usually in the videos we get something done on the car and it's a little bit better than it was in the previous video, or we discover an issue that'll then get fixed in the next video. Well, today we're not going to be doing any of that. Assuming everything goes well, we won't be doing any of that. Today we are going up to Road America. It's about an hour and a half north of me, and it's a decently famous racetrack. I've always wanted to race there. I always race my FB there in Forza, and so it's kind of a dream of mine to get my car actually onto the track. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's this sort of twilight cruise. I'm not actually going to be setting down hot laps, but I get to do 3 laps of Road America in the RX-7. So we are going to be trailering it up there just to make sure it's all running good for the trip. But before we do that, we got to do some basic maintenance and all that stuff. So hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's prep the RX-7.
When I'm with you, I am able to keep pushing my limits, and all the drive that I have, well, I'm going the distance with you. I didn't know what I had till I knew what was missing, and everything that I dread, well, I...
Alright, so we're loaded up on the U-Haul. We're gonna go top off the truck with some gas, and then it's gonna be about an hour and a half, 2 hours up to Road America, depending on traffic. It is a weekend, so that the traffic will probably be pretty rough, but as you can see, the RX-7's on the trailer behind us, and we're gonna get going. We're gonna go to Road America, and we're gonna see what happens. So let's go. So, it's just cooling down right now, but as you guys probably saw, we had an electrical issue out on the track. It kept cutting. It's running on one rotor right now, but I don't think it's an apex seal because it like went in and out of running on two rotors, running on one rotor, that sort of thing. So I think apex seals are fine. It's just running real weird. Something's weird in the wiring, and I just can't figure it out. So we're gonna put it back on the trailer. I did end up doing one lap of Road America, which is still cool. Still super stoked that I got to be on the track. The RX-7 has been on a track now. I think that's awesome, but this now means we got a big, long road ahead of us to figure out the wiring issue. So that's where that stands right now. So, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna explain what happened, because it's been a full week since that happened on Road America. Then I'm gonna tell you guys how I'm gonna fix it, and I'm gonna give you other general updates on the car. So the rest of this video we'll be talking, unfortunately, and I apologize for how short this video is gonna be. I thought we were gonna get a jump on the fix sooner, but it's just taking longer than anticipated, so I want to get this video out so you guys know what's happening with the car, because it's been well over a month since the last update. Well, what happened on the racetrack was a wiring malfunction, and I knew that right away. Basically, this car started misfiring. It was just driving straight, but it was misfiring. And so I took a corner and it started running perfectly normal. Took another corner, started misfiring again. So I knew it was some type of wiring issue. We've had that in the past. If you guys remember, it was misfiring a couple months ago, and we kind of straightened out the harness, and that seemed to fix it. Well, it seems as though we can't straighten out the harness like we could last time. We probably could. We could probably fudge it and get it to work, but there's just no sense in that. Adam, the guy who wired it, you guys know and love Adam as much as I do. He has been wanting to make a standalone custom harness for my car since we did the swap. When we actually did the swap, we kind of bridged the stock harness. We chopped up the stock harness and it was running to the normal ECU. Then we bridged it from the standard ECU to my new ECU. And so it was never done super properly, and that was really my fault. I was rushing Adam. I wanted to get the car done for that car show a year ago. And you know what? The goal of this car has been, our little saying has been whole ass, where we want to do the best we can and not half-ass anything. And honestly, we did half-ass the harness. At least the parts that I had the decisions on, it was kind of half-ass, and that's my own fault. The other part that's also my fault, because we're just going to rip into me right now, I never bolted down the ECU. I know I can't even count how many times in previous videos I've said, oh, also we're going to bolt down the ECU. Also, we're going to bolt down the ECU. I think that was the last nail in the coffin that killed the wiring harness, because I took a corner, I think it either rolled or it tugged on the wires weird, because like I said, not bolted down. So that's that. But as of right now, Adam just got in the wiring harness from Megasquirt, so we're actually using a Megasquirt wiring harness. He's super familiar with it, and he started laying it out and cutting out things that we don't need. If you guys want to follow him, he actually just made an Instagram, ARC Rotary, ARK Rotary. Go follow him on Instagram, because you can not only follow him building my wiring harness, but he just finished up an FD that he built, and a bunch of other stuff, and he's working on his own Turbo 2, which actually I think it's getting an REW, so it's a Turbo 2, but better. So go check him out there. So alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today we are bringing the RX-7 to Red Mist Automotive to get fixed. I know it's been sitting for a while, ever since whatever happened on Road America, but let's load it up on the trailer, let's get it to Red Mist. So in typical Mike and Adam form, it's almost midnight. Let's get it. It's 11:55 and they say, oh, we're not going to work on the car tonight. But here they are trying to troubleshoot and stuff. Why are you trying to help me? What are you trying to get out of this?
Do you need help?
I do need help. There he is, the man of the hour, Arc Rotary. Give him a follow.
No, don't do that.
I mean, what are we getting here?
Those are great numbers.
I can't see it at all.
112, 114, and 117. Like, people are stoked on 90. So you're in the hundreds. Usually people get like 60 when it's blown. So you're nearly double that.
So we're good.
Front rotor's good. Rear rotor sounds fine.
Red mist, thumbs up.
212 RPMs, 190, 94, PSI correction, 117, 105, 103. Good as gold.
Alright guys, so we're back out at Red Mist. That's where the car is. That's where we trailered the car to. And so basically we're going through it and Adam found out the issue. So there's a little vacuum line that runs into the back of the ECU that tells the ECU how much vacuum's actually in the engine. That line came out, the engine freaked out, it flooded itself. As you can see, the spark plugs were fouled from that, that's why it would never start again. And it thought the car was at wide open throttle, so it was dumping fuel, bogging it out while it was driving, and then eventually flooding the engine. So it's here at Red Mist now. We are still gonna do the full new harness, as well as I think we're gonna get a new electric fan because the junkyard fan, it's just time to get rid of it. We're going all out on the RX-7. That's what I've decided, is that I'm just gonna go all out on the RX-7. I'm gonna get aluminum door cards. We're gonna port the engine. As you guys saw, the compression of the engine is actually really good, so I kinda don't wanna rip it apart. So right now we're gonna focus on, after this video, we're gonna do like, you know, suspension, tires. We're gonna go all out on the FB. So we're not gonna play games anymore, and my goal is to get legitimate stuff on the car. So we can actually go take a look at it inside the shop now. What you doing, bud?
Just going through some instructions to take apart an FD trans.
Wow. Wow. Oh!
See if I can make it up the ramp.
Oh, please don't die!
Oh!
There's a nice lip there.
What if you jumped sideways right there to get up it and then turned and rode?
What if you just jump sideways the whole way up?
Do it with no hands.
That's
That's what. Go Mach 1.
Woo! Now
You can do it!
Get in the rhythm.
feel the rhythm. Feel the ride.
People ask for longer Rotary Life videos. This is it.
You should totally leave that in.
Arc Rotary, unicyclist.
I haven't gone back for ages.
This is the people's champion here, guys.
So, we finna have a mist life.
Really?
Hi, friend!
Pissing.
It's too early in the morning for this. It's 2 in the morning. It's Adam, what have you been doing to my car?
It's 2:07.
Breaking it more!
No, I was the one that broke it. Don't give him credit for that.
You didn't really break it, you just unplugged a vacuum line.
Guys, stop!
My dad can beat up your dad!
My dad's stronger than your dad.
He's not. He's way nicer.
Alright, so Adam's been wiring it like a madman, which is awesome. Thank you, Adam. Arc Rotary on Instagram. What did you say, Steve?
What?
What'd you say? How's your FD, huh? How's that going?
It's running just as good as your FB.
Oh, okay. It's time for you to go to bed, Mike. It's time for you to go to bed.
I like how you get real, like...
Yeah, that's what happens when he's high on Pop-Tarts.
Why are we here at...
Got real wild on Pop-Tarts tonight.
What time is it?
Instagram. 208.
Why can't I see it?
Look at the tie-dye. Right here. Right there.
I always wear tie-dye.
That's because the Hawaiian shirts are the only ones that fit this Samoan looking up.
You're not wrong. I just hate that he's right.
So I'll go pick up the dime.
Alright guys, so we are back at Red Mist. It is now August 7th. Gone over a month without driving the RX-7. So basically what's going on, I know a lot of different things have been happening in this video. So Adam he's finished the harness, we'll take a look at that in a second. But he finished the harness and he's laying it out so then he can make future harnesses based off that. So any 13B swapped FB, if it needs a harness, he can then make it based off of my harness, which I think is super cool and definitely really cool. So hit up Arc Rotary if you need a harness because now we can make them super easy. Other than that, the AFR gauge, the wideband is in. We just need to mount the actual gauge itself. Haven't decided where I want to do that. I think I want to do the vent next to the steering wheel, but you'll see wherever I end up doing it. So that's basically where the car is right now. Adam said Adam's goal is to get the car running tonight, have it start up and run and idle on its own power tonight. So that's the goal. Right now it's like 8:20, so it might be a late one, but that's the goal. We'll see what happens. If not, no harm, no foul, but I really want to see it run. So let's get back into Red Mist and continue working.
You like to play your own game. Cover it up, don't let them know what you're thinking. I bet you never tell them how it feels. I bet you never even try to be real. Cover it up, you like to play your own game. Cover it up, don't let them know.
Zack, what do you have to say about that? Zack, what do you have to say about that?
It's running. That's all I have to say. It's running. I haven't heard it run in forever. Oh yeah, now it's fine. Alright, so there you guys have it. That is this episode of Rotary Life. I hope you guys enjoyed it. The car runs again. It's a great feeling to have the car run again. What we did discover, this was my wrongdoing, is that I always thought that the secondaries were wired open on the FB. That was not the case. So we've been down on top end power ever since we did the swap. So the next video will be dyno tuning the RX-7 because Red Mist did get a dyno, so we can actually tune it on the dyno, tune the Mega Squirt, and all that stuff, which is super, super exciting. I do it first.
Oh God, I'm down. What should I say? Literally.
1813, yeet, I don't know.
First, the way you gotta do is you gotta push all the air out of your lungs first, like exhale. Yeah. And then when you're fully exhaled, just give me a thumbs up, and then I'll put it basically like almost touching your lips, just like right here. And just inhale it as it comes in. Yeah. Just give me a thumbs up when you're fully exhaled. Nice deep breath. Alright, say something to the camera.
How much what chuck what? 1813, like and subscribe.
Jesus. Yeah.
Mike, you know how to drive stick, right? Oh, heck.
I'm just gonna push the pedal in the middle a lot with both feet.
so we're dynoing the car at Red Mist. I'm gonna get out of the wind. We're dynoing the car at Red Mist, and it's already making 10 more horsepower than it did in February, and we haven't touched it. So, let the tuning begin, I guess. Adam? Alright guys, so the car has been tuned, it has been dynoed. The tune's not 100%, but it is so much better than the last tune. So, the numbers are reading 10% lower. So, the car on the dyno made 133 horsepower, which corrected for a 10% loss is about 148 actual horsepowers getting to the wheels, which I am stoked about. My goal was 150 and we're within 2 horsepower, which is totally awesome. That being said, it also had 122 foot-pounds of torque, which is awesome. It's more torque than the car has ever made, especially from the factory with the 12A. I think the torque was somewhere in the high 80s. We have 122 now, which is absolutely awesome. The car feels so much more alive. And that's really thanks to wiring open the secondaries. So the 5th and 6th port on the engine are now wired open. It's not the best for low-end power, but once we get up towards the top, this thing pulls like a freight train now. It is worlds different. The car honestly used to fall flat on its face, and I'll show the dyno picture here. In blue, that's it stock. That's it dynoed before we even touch anything about it. And you can see after about 5,000 RPM, it pretty much falls on its face. It didn't really make any more power. But with those secondaries open, you can see the green. It shoots for the moon, essentially, which is absolutely awesome. So things that have changed since the car went to the shop. Well, first of all, you'll notice that the carpet is back in place and clean. The ECU is mounted. Thank you so much, Adam, for mounting the ECU. It's clean. I can have passengers in the car, and we don't have to worry about it because we put the kick panel back in. So we don't have to worry about the ECU sliding around or anything. It's mounted, which is awesome. The car now has Series 5 Savannah injectors. So they're actually out of a right-hand drive Savannah Turbo 2. Doesn't really matter, it'd be the same as a regular Turbo 2, but I just think it's cool that it's out of a right-hand drive car, a car that these injectors fired off in Japan for about 50,000 kilometers, which I think is really cool. So they're, I believe, 550cc injectors now. The secondaries are wired open. We have a new Mishimoto fan. It's a 12-inch. We might be switching that out though. The car's running a little hot. Now it has been pretty hot here in Chicago, so I can't really blame the car, but we want to keep the car as cool as possible, so we might be switching out those fans or running a dual fan setup. It now has a TPS sensor out of a 1994 Astrovan. It's a brand new sensor, but that's the part that it's from. So it now has a way better TPS. The stock TPS was very vague in its readings. Another thing that we added is the AFR gauge. You guys saw it. It's an AEM AFR gauge. It's in the vent next to the steering wheel. I think it looks amazing. What I did for that is I pulled the vent apart and then I basically just grinded away, so there's this little hook on the back of the gauge, so I could fit that gauge in and then slide it back in. It wasn't too hard. The vent actually just pulls out. I got a lot of questions and I actually asked the forums on how to do it. You just pull the vent right out. Grab it towards the bottom. It's the thickest part of plastic so you don't break it. Don't grab it up at the top. And of course the brand new wiring harness, which I cannot thank Adam enough. He has so much blood, sweat, tears, and money into that harness. It looks amazing.
It has so far functioned completely perfectly. It started up on the first crank. You saw that in the last video, which is awesome. A completely new harness. Every wire under the hood is brand new, and it fired up first crank, which really speaks to Adam's just precision and how great his harnesses are. So thank you so much, Adam, for that. You should definitely go and follow him at Arc Rotary on Instagram. If you have any questions or if you want a harness of your own, definitely hit up Adam, as well as hit up Mike if you want dyno time. So the shop actually now is a dyno. You saw that in the video. That's what we dynoed Rose on. He does dyno tunes, as well as if you just want to know the power of your car, which I think is really, really important, so you can actually go to a meet and say my car puts down this much. You know, you're not, quite frankly, talking out of your ass. You actually have a sheet of paper. You can have dyno numbers, so, you know, there's no more just running your mouth. You have the facts, and I think that's really important. So definitely, if you want to get your car dynoed, hit up Mike at Red Mist Automotive. You can find him on Facebook or at Red Mist Auto on Instagram. Seriously recommend it. The cheapest dyno prices around. So definitely hit up Mike if you want a dyno tune or if you just want to dyno your car. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's been quite the ride getting this car back. I'm so glad that it's home. I did give it a wash. I vacuumed it out. It feels like a car again. We are having some slight heat issues. Like I said, it's just super hot out. But yeah, that's it. The car is home. I'm so stoked to have it home. It's been a blast to drive. It pulls so much harder up top. It feels like an actual rotary, and yeah. So the plan up next for the car is we're gonna get some aluminum door cards, just because I really like. I still haven't put the door card in on the other side. I just love the space. My left leg actually has space, which is awesome. So I'm gonna get aluminum door cards. That'll probably be one video on its own because I'm gonna modify them a little bit, paint them, sort them, and put them in. And then I also just ordered a thermostat housing cap. So right now, because I have an FB radiator and an FC engine and thermostat neck, they both have bleeder valves. And so one isn't connected to anything, so once the car gets pretty warm, it just starts spewing coolant. Right now we have it running to a line and it's running down and it goes to the underneath the car, which is fine, but we want to get that sorted out. We're only going to have one bleeder, I guess, nozzle. So I ordered, it's actually an FD part. So I will have just a small little FD part on the radiator, or excuse me, on the thermostat housing neck. So that'll be another video as well, as we'll sort out the cooling issues. But
Rotary Life is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Hey Zach, I got a package for you.
boy, I sure hope it's car parts.
What else would it be? Say thanks. Oh boy, a body and a cap from a 3rd gen RX-7. Maybe that means my car will be part FD. Because we did an FC engine swap into an FB chassis, the FB has a bleeder valve on the radiator, relieving pressure from the system when the system gets too hot. That goes into an overflow tank. But on the FC, that valve is on the thermostat housing. So right now we have 2 bleeder valves, and we don't want that. So we're going to put a 3rd generation body and cap on the thermostat, so there's only 1 bleeder nozzle going into an overflow canister. This will also give us a higher spot on the whole system to actually fill up with coolant and water. Let's go put it in. Wait a second. How could I forget my keys? I guess I better go get him. Alright, the first thing we're going to want to do is take off the old radiator cap. Wow, now that was a cool modification, but we're not done yet. Now we're gonna respray the radiator panel because I sprayed it in bed liner and I did it wrong. What you're supposed to do is let it warm up and bake so then it gets solid. I never did that, so it's been sticky and gooey ever since. While we wait for that to dry, a couple little updates on the car. I actually recently took the car on a 130-mile road trip up to northern Illinois. The car did fantastic, and best of all, it got 18 miles to the gallon on the new tune, which is awesome. It stayed totally cool on the highway. It totally loved it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Rotary Life. If you liked it, please don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it, and we'll be back again with more RX-7 very, very soon. Take care, guys. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and we're back again with another episode of Rotary Life. Now to kick things off, I know the title of the video is about the door cards, and we will be getting that later on. They're actually not here yet. So we're going to do some basic maintenance stuff. So we are going to do an oil change, and the only reason why I'm filming this is that I get asked all the time, Zach, what oil do you put in the 13B, or what oil do you put in your RX-7? Every time I do an oil change, I'm going to post it in the video because everyone still asks me, but hopefully this will answer some questions for you guys. So I am using Castrol GTX 20W50, that's the important part. Brand doesn't really matter all that much, but I am using 20W50. Now the reasoning behind that is that since rotaries run super hot, I run a really thick oil, so when it does heat up, I'm never oil starving the engine. It never gets too dangerously thin. And I actually made a whole video talking about this topic. If you want to go check that out, be my guest. But that is the oil that I've been using. This was recommended to me by Adam, the Rotary Whisperer, so whatever he says, I do. But that's the reason behind that. And then I'm just using a Wix filter, just a standard filter. Picked both of the, actually, I picked the filter up at O'Reilly's. This was actually found at Walmart. O'Reilly's does not carry 20W50 in 5-gallon or 5-quart containers. They sell the single quarts, but not a 5-quart. So yeah, we'll be doing that, and then we will also be doing a new thermostat. So as I said in one of the previous videos, the car runs a little warm, and so we're actually going to be putting a 160-degree thermostat into the car. Now factory, the current one is 180 degrees, so we're bringing it down 20 degrees. We're going to get it to open up sooner, get that coolant flowing sooner, and hopefully keep the car from running warm during the day. This also means that I can beat the snot out of the car, run it hard, and it shouldn't overheat. But, of course, you never know. And one last thing before we get started. This might seem kind of odd for Season 3 of Rotary Life that we're not in Red Mist's shop. We're actually back in the garage where we did the swap. So, let's address that real quick. Just like home. Alright, so this is the old oil that we just took out of the car. Let's see how dirty it is. Where's my dipstick? This will do. Oh, look at that. Yeah, you see, it's kind of dark. This is probably because I do have an oil leak up front. I do have an oil leak in the oil cooler, which I've known for a while. Those oil coolers tend to break a lot. We will fix that eventually, but yeah, not the best, but we got fresh oil in it now.
think Adam, the Rotary God, would find it important for me to tell you how to properly use RTV. You put it onto where the gasket will go, and then you lightly screw the part on. Don't torque it down all the way, just until it mushes out the sides a little bit. Then it'll harden and actually create the gasket, and then you tighten it down all the way, thus crushing the gasket that you just created. This will give it a proper seal. Alright guys, so just a quick little update on the car. It's been actually about a week since I put the thermostat in. Car's been running great. Up at speed, driving, it runs a lot cooler. But in traffic, it still does get pretty warm. But luckily, I don't really drive the car in traffic, so it's not that big of a deal. Not a huge concern. But as you'll see in front of me, the LRB Speed door cards are here. They finally came. So we are going to do an unboxing video. Almost cut my nose. And I want to put this out there before we do this. This is not a sponsored video. I paid full price for these LRB Speed door cards. I genuinely want to see how they are. But any praise I give to this, it's not a paid promotion or anything like that. So let's dive right in here, I guess. Alright, so here are the door cards. They're a little bit heavier than I would have thought, but I guess metal's heavy. Woo! Look at these. Very nice. And then it also comes with a little baggie, whole bunch of screws and washers. The red door straps. Now you can get these in any color on the website, and if you don't like the color that you pick out a month after you buy it, you can actually buy just the straps too. A bunch of LRB Speed stickers. This is my receipt. And then there are instructions. So, very, very cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to paint them. I just think they would look better painted, so we are going to be painting them black. But we're going to be using, this is just 97-cent Walmart spray paint to do a base layer, and then we're going to use chalkboard. The reason I did this is because I'm going to be painting it black anyway, and I found the chalkboard paint, and I thought that'd be fun if at meets or something we could play tic-tac-toe, or I could write a message, or if you ever see me out and about and you're a fan, you could write something on here. I just think that would be cool. So we're going to be doing chalkboard as the final layer, but we'll be doing this first layer first.
Of course we keep on going, though everybody know it, the truth about
While we wait for the paint to dry, I actually went to the junkyard and got these. These are pedal covers for the RX-7. These are stock pedal covers. I never had them in my RX-7, so we're going to clean these up while the paint dries and throw these on, so then it'll actually have OEM pedal covers, because it's just bare metal right now. Honestly, for a 97-cent paint job, this is not bad. I do see it's blotchy and stuff, but for 97 cents, not a bad primer. Alright, so now it is time to actually take the door card off and put our new door cards on. Very exciting. But if you haven't seen my video in the past, we did on the driver's side, we took the door card off to look at the window regulator. So I will show the picture here if you'd like to screenshot it or just use it as reference. That is where all of the bolts are on the door card. So we're going to take this thing off. I've already mounted the one on the driver's side. I didn't film it because one, it was really early in the morning, and two, I had no idea what I was doing, so I wanted to get it down first. Basically the hardest part about it is the fact that the rivets, or like the bolts that you put into it, they don't go into factory spots. They just go into factory holes, which it doesn't have threads.
So you're not actually threading it into, you're not threading the bolt into another thread, you're just threading it into metal, which can kind of be a little frustrating, and like lining it up's a little annoying, but other than that it went on without really much hassle. So that's the plan for this. Obviously I'll film this go around, and let's get this door card on. Alright guys, so here is the finished product of the doors. As you can see, we were having some fun last night at a car meet. We were drawing hangman and of course those S's and all that stuff. So door cards came out great. The only thing is that I can't get that bolt to match up on either side. I don't know if I did something wrong or the connectors for the power windows got in the way or something, but overall I'm really happy with these. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you'd like to purchase your own set of door cards, I'll leave a link in the description below to lrbspeed.com. They not only have stuff for the FB, they have stuff for the FC, I believe FD, Repus, they have a bunch of rotary stuff, and also Nissan 240SX stuff, Lexus parts, all that stuff. So go check out LRB Speed. They're really awesome, really great quality, and I'm really happy with it. It was really fun at the meet to play hangman and tic-tac-toe on the car. It's just something to do. So I'm actually really happy with that. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and today we're not doing actually a whole lot of modification to the FB. The car has actually been super solid recently. I have no complaints at all about it. It starts up, it runs great, it runs cool, which has been really good, partially to the fact that the leaves are changing color and it is now fall here in Chicago. Now normally when fall rolls around, I start to talk about storage of the RX-7. I don't drive it in the wintertime. I have no need to drive it in the wintertime, and there's no need to really drive this thing in the salts or drive this thing below 32 degrees. So this car does get stored in the wintertime. But that being said, my goal this year is to hopefully, I know it seems like a big goal, but clean out part of this garage, because it is a two-car garage, and hopefully we'll be able to keep the FB here at the house over the winter time. So that's the plan. I'm not 100% sure that will happen, but hopefully we will be able to keep it at the house, and then I can make videos about it over the winter time, little things here and there. Nothing major, obviously no huge build or driving videos, but at least if I want to work on it, I can. Also, before we get into today's video, a couple little updates that I did not film. I didn't really find a need to film it. I don't know if you guys remember in last episode, but I picked up pedal covers for an FB RX-7, and for some reason they don't fit my pedals, even though they are pulled off the identical car, a 1985 RX-7 GSL. Because this car was manual swapped some time ago, I'm leaning more towards it doesn't have stock FB pedals. But that being said, I actually grip taped the pedals on the car, so now they feel a lot better after I wash the car. My feet don't slip off, and it just feels a lot better for driving. So if you don't have pedal covers, I'd highly recommend getting $6 grip tape from Menards, because it works pretty well. Also, I happened to repaint the door cards. I know that was most of last video, was painting the chalkboard, and it was really cool, but the chalkboard never got 100% clean. It always kind of looked messy, and I wasn't really a big fan of it. So I did just a regular black. I'll show the can here, and I'll show the finished product here. I think they look really good. On the passenger side, there's a sticker that says "Use a hoe," because my girlfriend wrote that in chalk, and so then I took a picture of it, and made it into a sticker. So I do have that file on my computer. If you guys would like a "Use a hoe" sticker, message me, I guess, or leave a comment. I don't know. But today's video is a very important modification to the FB that I've been wanting to do since the day I bought it, and that is
the hood prop holder. Now, Atkins has actually sent me a hood prop holder for this car. It's a very, very common issue that they break. They're just brittle plastic from the 80s. They're bound to break. So you can get your replacement at Atkins Rotary. If you own an FB, I almost guarantee you that yours is broken. It's only a couple of bucks. Seriously, pick one up from Atkins. It is well worth it. But that is what we're going to do today, and then we'll talk a little bit more later. So, enough talking. Let's get to it. Alright, so now that lengthy and in-depth modification is complete, actually, genuinely, that always bugged me about the car is that it never had a proper hood latch holder. It really, really pissed me off. So I'm glad that is done. Again, you can get those at Atkins Rotary. I'll leave a link in the description below. It'll be the first link down there. One last thing before we end off this very, very short Rotary Life, which I apologize for, but really there's nothing else to be said about the car. I've just been enjoying it. It's been running perfectly, and unfortunately, when it runs good, I don't really have content to make. I mean, I can make videos of me driving it perfectly, but other than that, nothing too crazy. The other thing is I did pick up another transmission for this car. No, I still don't have reverse, and yes, people still remind me of it. I don't have reverse in this car, and we haven't had reverse since the 13B swap if you're new to the series. And the reason for that is because I dropped the transmission when we were putting it in, and I think I messed something up. I think part of the guide pin, because the guide pin was broken, I think part of the guide pin is jammed in reverse because it'll go all the way over, but it won't go back. Anyway, I picked up a Series 4 RX-7 transmission. The reason why we never put that Series 5 transmission that we picked up last year, the reason why we never put it in is because the Series 5 has a counterweight. The transmission, that Series 5 is actually sitting to the right of me over here. It has a counterweight that would throw it off, and we weren't really sure if it'll bolt right in. We didn't know if we had to press the counterweight out. We didn't know if, you'd have to press everything out. So we're just gonna play it safe, and I got a Series 4 transmission. Now, putting that in is all going to depend on Red Mist's time. Because race season is over, a lot of people want Red Mist to do work on their cars, and I have to let paying customers go before me. That's totally understandable. So I don't know when reverse will get put in. I don't know when we'll put the new transmission in, but of course you guys will see it here. So.
Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach, and the day has finally come. We are going to store Rose the RX-7 for the winter. Now, in the years past, I have trailered or driven the car about an hour down south to a storage facility pretty much out in the middle of nowhere for safekeeping. This year, it's going to be different. The car is actually going to get stored right about here. So luckily, we've been able to clear out enough room in the garage to keep the RX-7 at the house for the duration of the winter time. This is awesome for a couple different reasons. First of all, the car is close to me. I always felt weird having it an hour away. If something went bad, I'm not there. Also, this opens up the possibility of doing more modifications during the winter time, and I'll talk about that towards the end of the video. I do have plans to continue this series through the winter, although this season is ending. Something new will start in its place. And I can start the car about once a week. That's my goal, is to start the car once a week, clean it out, get it warm, and shut it back off, so then I don't have to fog the engine or put stable in the gas or winterize it too much. So with that being said, we have a couple of things we have to do first. Obviously pull the car in here. We have to clean out a little bit more space. But then we are going to switch to the stock wheels. I have a set of stock FB wheels I'm going to switch to, just because I don't want my nice new tires sitting on. We're going to put the car on rollers,
and they're metal, and I don't want the tires sitting on that and either getting flat spotted or something like that. So we're going to take the wheels off. Maybe over the winter time we might refinish the wheels. There's a couple little blemishes on them. And then we're also going to take the driver's side mirror off, so then we can push it as far up against the wall as possible. And then we should be making a little protective border for the car, because my mom will also be parking her car in here, and I don't want any door dings or anything, you know, because you get home, it's super late, you're tired, you fling open the door. I don't want my car to get dented up. So that's the plan for this video. It is 20 degrees out right now, so we're going to start the RX-7, pull it in here, and get down to business.
Oh.
Well guys, that concludes Season 3 of Rotary Life. It's been an amazing year. We've accomplished so much with the car. Although it might not seem like it visually, under the hood, it's so much better off than it ever was before. And to emphasize that, I actually wrote down a list of everything new on the car. So, this is not in chronological order, this is just in order in which I remembered it. But this is everything that we did to this car since last March. So it got 550 injectors out of a Savannah RX-7. The rear suspension has been reinforced. Toyo Proxy T1R's tires, GM throttle position sensor, a GM coolant sensor, Megasquirt MS3X ECU. Yes, the black ECU that's in it now was this year. It's hard to believe. AEM wideband, AEM AFR gauge to go with the wideband, Mishimoto 12-inch slim fan, FD thermostat cap, LRB speed door cards, custom exhaust header, mass airflow sensor pipe delete, hood prop clip, custom arc rotary wiring harness, and solid engine mounts. That's as much as I could remember. There's probably more. But that's quite a bit of stuff that we've actually improved on the car, let alone, it's not physical, but the actual tune that we put on the car, we picked up 27 horsepower over the course of the year, which is a pretty hefty improvement for not changing that many major parts. It's just really a wiring harness, MAF delete, a header, and that's about it performance-wise. And so we picked up 27 horsepower, which is absolutely awesome. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching, for sticking with this build. I have tons of plans for 2019, but also hopefully some stuff might go down over the winter time because, as you guys saw, the car is stored at the house. And if we want to really do stuff, one, we can, and two, we can always trailer it to the shop. So I don't want to give too much away. I do have plans for the winter, but they're not set in stone, so I don't want to say anything and then not have it happen. But stay tuned with the channel. There's definitely going to be more rotary content. I know a lot of people did keep their cars out, so there will still be rotary content on the channel, as well as other Mazda content. If you guys are big Mazda fans, definitely keep an eye on the channel. I'll be doing reviews, as well as Mazda informational videos, all of that sort of stuff. I also want to say a huge thank you to Mike and Adam. Adam has helped this car ever since the 13B swap, and I really couldn't do any of this stuff without Adam. He's the guru, he is the rotary god, he is my go-to. As well as Mike for giving up space in his shop, for welding my suspension and header, for doing my tune, for having the dyno to do the tune, all of that stuff. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, Mike and Adam. You guys really, I think if I ever decided to get rid of the FB, I'd have to chop it in half and give one half to each person because they helped out that much.
But there it is, guys. Season 3 of Rotary Life is over. I will leave you guys with a little montage of the year. But again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much. You guys have enabled me through these videos, not only a huge support community, but you guys have viewed the content. The content makes me money, and then I can put it back into the car. And so you guys have really helped me expand on my dream. So thank you for that. And with that, let's go to the montage. Take care, guys.